All right, let's see if this does anything to counteract the sheer volume of the music that's going on in here. It's like a nightclub, it's insane. But I like the vibes. Today is not a chest day. Surprise, surprise, it's a back day. So you're gonna see me playing around with some of the other weights, but my chest pump has been kind of lacking in maybe the past few days. And I want to see a nice full chest when I look at myself in the mirror. So this is 20s, by the way, I'm just warming up. 5, I think. 6, 8. All right, I'm warm. We can go heavier. I used to be able to lift all the way up until I think about 30 kilos at the peak of my bulk, but in recent light, that has drastically reduced, and I think the highest I can go for now is maybe 26. So that's actually, now as I'm picking it up, it doesn't really seem that bad. I dare say. All right, let's give it a little bit of rest, and we'll head over there, do some lat stuff. I usually don't do incline dumbbell press. When it comes to chest, I'm usually a flies man. Some people like bench press. I personally don't feel anything whenever I'm doing bench press. Dumbbell flies are pretty good, but the problem is I can't really get the weight up because I don't have a spotter and I'm too afraid to make friends in the gym. All right, let's crack on with it. Enough waffle. Oh yeah, that feels like I remember. All right. That felt good. I'm surprised at how good that felt. Usually I'd expect something like that to be really just destroy my anterior delts. For some reason, whenever I do any kind of pressing movements, whether it be bench press or whatever that thing is, or even dumbbell press, the incline dumbbell press like I'm doing now, I always feel it right along the anterior delt. And you'll see, I went back and I watched through some of my posing videos, and you'll see when I do the posing session now, I have really nicely developed anterior delts, and then like so lateral delts, and just nothing on the rear delt. And that's purely a product of how I used to train when I was younger. I thought I thought the delts, I heard someone say like the delts would always grow whenever you did any kind of pressing movement, so I kind of just neglected them for a long time because I thought I'm doing all these sets of pressing movements, I'm doing bench press like 4 times a week. That was when I didn't know how to train properly. Still don't know how to train properly, but that was when I was really stupid. Every day was upper body day, and every day was bench press day. So I'd be like, you know what? I'm doing a pressing movement, all heads of the delt will grow. But it isn't that simple. Either way, I'm older and wiser now. Or at least just older. All right, let's go again. Okay. That's feeling a little better, to be honest. I'm actually starting to feel it in the pec now, which, I mean, I'll fucking take, because I couldn't feel it in my chest before. When I started working out, I really had trouble feeling any of the pressing movements in my chest. I'd always just fatigue the triceps, fatigue the anterior delt, feel nothing in the chest, and I would watch all these how to bench press 101 Jeff Nippard, how to bench press in 10 easy steps. And it was just a matter, in the end, of forgetting about angles and all that stuff, and really just dropping the weight down considerably and going to fatigue. And I would kind of feel it in the shoulders, and it would spread a little bit, and eventually I started feeling it in the pecs. And now I can say there's a 7 out of 10 chance that I still feel it in the pecs. But I mean, that being said, I do have a fairly underdeveloped chest. All right. Last set. And then we'll go and do lat stuff. I was deadlifting here the other day. I didn't film because I wanted to try and break my 152.5 kilogram PR. That didn't end up happening. 145 went up, and then that was it. I completely gassed out on that set, so I didn't bother filming it because it was, you know, you guys don't want to see me fail anything. All right. 3, 2, 1. 0. All right. 2. All right. That's it. That was the best set yet. All right. I'll put this stuff away and we'll do some lat stuff. All right. These are pretty much single, your stock standard single arm lat pull downs. I used to be all the way at 16 in my first year of lifting, and now I'm all the way. So 23 is not the easiest I can do. I'm treating this as a warm-up set, as in I'm including it because it is heavy and it is fatiguing and taxing, but I can go a lot heavier usually. All right, I'm gonna go for 8. All right. All right. I mean, obviously let's warm up. Yeah, we can go a little bit heavier. So it's now at 31. When I started lifting, I pretty much did nothing for my back. No deadlifts, no lat pull downs, no trap shrugs, rear delts, nothing. I was completely concentrated on everything on the front. Business in the front, nothing in the back. Absolutely nothing. And but one thing I did was a lot of climbing. And by climbing, I mean bouldering. I'd go inside a bouldering gym and I'd try some of the climbs. I think the highest I've ever gone is maybe a V5, a couple of V5s, but I was a V3 climber, which is nothing to be ashamed of, but you know, I feel like I should have progressed a lot further for the effort that I put into climbing. But I climbed so frequently that I was actually able to build a pretty respectable back, even though I'd never trained it in the gym. And this is what it looked like. So as you can see, I was extremely shredded back then, but I still had a good amount of definition, and that's what my abs looked like when I had them. Yeah. So I was incredibly skinny, but I had pretty good definition. After that, I stepped on the bulk, grew to about 65 kilos, and I was still lean. Didn't push much further than that. But I could have. I did this year. All right, set number 2. Here we go. And left side. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, even now, I'm really struggling to feel the lower lat. I mean, the top half has always been pretty good. I can always get a good contraction there. But when it comes to the lower stuff, I really have trouble feeling it unless I do like the bent over rows, which honestly are too tiring to set up. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'll go and I'll use a dumbbell and I'll use a bench and I'll try and do it like that, single arm. But I had a friend who used to do the same, like same position, just in the bench, bent over, doing his bent over rows, and he ended up getting a hernia, an indirect umbilical or inguinal hernia. I'm not sure which one it was. I remember reading about that in class when we did GI pathology, or at least it was something like GI reproductive pathology, and remember that. I was like, you know what I'm not gonna do? Bent over rows. But in all fairness, I think it's not really to do with the movement or the exercise. It's more just the position and the intra-abdominal pressure that kind of pushes the bowel out. So let's get going. I don't think I didn't see that. All right. This is, in all honesty, a pretty precarious position to be filming in, but you know what? It's the best I can do. All right, that's a little bit more upright. Wonder how that's looking. You see me when I'm down here? Not really. All right. It should be good now. There's other people in the gym. I'm here at ungodly hour of 12:59 in the morning, but there's still people here, and I feel pretty bad about filming in public. Because I'm gonna be honest, it really pisses me off when other people do it too. Not just with their cameras, but their phones as well, especially if they're like doing a little gym vlog holding their phone out there. And now I'm the dickhead with the camera and the tripod. Oh, how the tables have turned. All right. Still got to do the left side, that's my bad. Hold on, wrong leg. All right. And we got one more set left. Then, and I think we'll get down to some rear delt flies. Add in a couple more movements, maybe some shrugs. Finish up with some bicep stuff. I don't want to do any lower back stuff since I deadlifted yesterday. And I'm gonna be honest, I can really feel it in the lower back now. Whenever I'm bending over to pick something up, it's really tight. And I mean, been checking my form and everything, and plus with the recording, it's easier to see where the form kind of slips up. And I'm thankful to say I've never done the little angry cat arch while deadlifting. It's something I used to do. It doesn't really help. I'm putting a lot more glute into it as well, which feels weird to say, but really emphasizes the fact that I should be keeping a flat back while doing it. I don't know why I'm out of breath. It looks really good, but the thing is, with the cut, I'm starting to see the strength coming down really quickly. And I'm gonna be honest, it's gotten to the point where I kind of dread coming in for PR sessions because I know it's always gonna decrease during the cut. It's just a matter of how much, which is sad to say because we had that little bit, the start of the cut, where all the lifts kind of went up, kind of like a last hurrah before all the weakness set in and the muscle loss became a problem. All right, last set. And now we can move on, finally. All right, I said I wasn't gonna do any lower back stuff, but I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't feel any of those lat pull downs in the lower lat. So I'm gonna show you what I do specifically to target them, which seems really unintuitive and if anything kind of embarrassing. But yeah, this is literally just a kettlebell. I'll be over here in the section of the gym where no one can see me. I'll be doing my kettlebell rows. I don't know why, this feels like a very vulnerable position. Anything where my traps are higher than my glutes. It's kind of embarrassing to be in, but usually I try and get 12 of these. All right, here we go. All right. That actually felt really good. All right, there we go. Embarrassing lift out of the way for at least one set. And yeah, that's why I do these things. You really feel it. Not really the lower back, but it's definitely a lat pump. None of the pain comes from the leverage of having to bend down and load your lower back. None of it's from that. It's literally just from the movement, the lat contracting, which is more than I can say for when I used to just do bent over rows exclusively for the back. And you know, now that I'm here, I'm kind of seeing the veins start to come back as well. I'm honestly really excited about cutting down finally. Oh yeah. You know, maybe we'll even finish up with some ab stuff. That's an option. I don't want to throw up in here. I don't want a blocky waist either. But we'll see. It's wishful thinking at this point, but it is an option. All right, set number 2. Right, it's 10. I can start to feel it cramp now, so I'm gonna step it down a little bit. Jesus. All right, and it's times like these where I can really feel that my left lat is really the one that gets the better contraction. I feel the entire pump all the way down here, all the way down to the end. It feels pretty good. But the problem is, it is the smaller one. It's interesting because my right lat is a lot bigger. And when I'm doing these, I can distinctly feel like the traps are coming into play, the rear delts. Everything is working whenever I use my right arm, including the lat, but not just the lat. My left arm, it's all lat, baby. But I don't understand why it's smaller. It's definitely stronger when I can put effort into isolating it. But I can, whenever I load the lat for the single arm pull down, I think I can go up to about 40-ish, something like that. This one's stuck at 30 something before I can feel all the other muscles start to work in. It's really been annoying me. But, you know, we're all in work in progress, and we'll see. And plus, some of the size disparity between them has resolved on the bulk. I just hope that stays when I cut down. But not that I'm necessarily lean now, but it's kind of seeming like the case with, or at least I can start to see them thinning down to the same size. I just wish they didn't have to thin down and I could just, you know what I mean. Whew, that was close. I nearly pressed the power button there on the mic. That would have been embarrassing. All right, let's stop waffling and crack on. All right, here we go. Oh, that was a dirty set. I definitely cheated there. All right, one more. All right, that's it for lower lat stuff. All right, there's good news and bad news. The good news is we're about to do rear delt flies, which I sorely need to do. The bad news is you're about to be introduced to something I call the trap problem. So pretty much, this is about 40 kilos now, and I guarantee most of that will be felt in the rear delts for about the first few reps. Then it'll transition to the traps. But if I lower the weight, I won't fatigue the rear delts enough. So we got to get past the trap fatigue before I can properly hit the rear delts. So I like to go maybe 15 on these, keep it a bit higher. All right. Lost count. 10. All right. Not gonna lie, I can feel it right in the traps, and I can tell because my neck hurts. And I don't have particularly high trap attachments. They don't go right from the base of my occiput, from the back of my head all the way down. They kind of just tucked along there neatly. There's a lot of pain whenever I start doing any trap movements. Maybe it's a problem, maybe it's progress. Who knows? Gotta take it as it comes. I'm kidding. I need to get this thing checked out. It's really annoying me when I sleep. But tell you what, we'll drop it down to oops. All right, so it's 35 now. Point something, 35.5. We'll crack on with some more. I don't like to leave a lot of rest between these. I like to feel them burn for a bit. All right, this will either be 15 or it'll be 12. All right. Thought I was going to stop at 10, but had to take a minute to vanquish the bitch-ass weak thoughts from my mind. We hit 15 anyway, which is good. The neck pain at this point is starting to become almost unbearable. I'm having to take a couple of Panadol, a little bit of antihistamines before I sleep. It's good for the hay fever, but mostly it's just to get rid of the fucking neck pain. Did you hear that? Honestly, ever since I started training back, I've never been hit with this much neck pain before in my life. I've been looking at all the form guides. I think I lift with pretty good form. I keep a flat back on deadlifts, and I try not to fatigue any of the other muscles. I try and get a very good isolation whenever I can. So I think it must just be something that a physio needs to look at. Maybe I just have like some generalized weakness in my stabilizer muscles that they try and compensate for, because I train very little things with machines, so it kind of makes, I train very little with free weights and most of the stuff with machines, so it kind of makes sense that the stabilizer muscles will be kind of underdeveloped in that sense. But no pain, no gain, baby. That's literally in the name that I'm. Let's go again. Yeah, no. We're at 33 now, which is shameful. Alright. No, fuck it. 35. 35 again. Come on. There we go. That was exhausting. Right, there's definitely more in the tank, but for the sake of my neck, I think we'll leave it there. Move on to the next one. All right. Remember when I said we weren't going to be doing anything like bent over rows or Romanian deadlifts because my back hurt? Well, I lied. Honestly, it just feels good today. Had a hella pump in the upper back, the lower back. Might as well get the mid back as well. And if you're wondering, I do feel these in the mid back, not the lower back. Maybe it's because I'm so conservative about my lifting technique, but feel free to tell me if it's horrendous. It probably is. All right. Let's try and make this plain, easy and painless. Plain, easy and painless. Title of my sex tape. Sorry, I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. All right. So. All right. That wasn't so bad. But I'm gonna be honest. It's starting to catch up to me, all these heavy lifts. Starting to feel a little bit of bone pain, which I'll be honest, I didn't really feel last year when I was lifting, apart from when I was ego lifting, pushing a lot more weight than I can handle. I feel like 60 kilo RDL is not too bad. Or at least it's nothing out of the ordinary. But there still is like a little bit of back pain. Which, you know, could just be genetic. I mean, my dad's got back pain as well. Brother's got back pain. Maybe it runs in the family, maybe it doesn't. I don't run in my family. I hate cardio. Well, I mean, I say that, but I used to, right, that's just blatantly a lie. I used to run a lot of marathons when I was a kid. Never officially, but when I was like 12 to about 14, 15, around that time, I used to be really big on marathon running. So I'd try and, I'd have my Nike running app open and I'd get maybe about 20 kilometers daily, which sounds insane, and it is for a kid that was growing. I thought that was the best way to lose weight instead of cutting, like dieting properly. So I'd eat a bunch of shit, run 20 kilometers, wonder why I wasn't losing any weight. My cardio was insane. I would literally never get tired. I could sprint forever, I felt like, until I wore down some of the cartilage in my knee. Really fucked it up badly. It's doing fine now, but I don't think I'll do any more marathon running. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, the grip is given out before anything else, which is annoying, but it's especially annoying because I told you I used to climb, so I had an insane grip. I remember I could, on the hangboards, I could hang just by the edge of my, excuse me, by my fingers. It was pretty impressive back in the day, but then again, I was like 10 kilos lighter. We gotta take less rest in between these. I'm talking too much, wasting my breath when I should be actually resting. Tell you what, That'll be good. Conservatively, I'm going to leave it there. Right, I figured we'd finish with what is pretty much an absolute staple now. The humble bicep curl. And if it seems like I'm doing these every day, that's because it is. And I'm not trying to do any like pseudoscience, myonuclei overloading bullshit, anything like that. This is literally just because I feel like my biceps in general are completely underdeveloped. And it's not just that, I've got a really, really long insertion as well, so I don't get a nice big peak. These are 10 kilos. I'm going slightly lighter this time because I kind of want to pile on the reps a little bit. 1. That's 2. All right, that's 12. These are pretty good as well because, like I mentioned, my grip isn't exactly the strongest. Used to be pretty good. I mean, just look at the size of my forearms. You can tell they are good, but I fatigue really easily, which honestly, you shouldn't really expect from a climber. Yeah, can you see that? Look at the veins. God damn. Not gonna lie, when a lot of people say they like the feeling of having a pump in their biceps, I can't really relate. I've always found bicep pumps to be really painful, surprisingly, for whatever reason. Lower back pumps as well, but I think everyone finds them painful. I've never felt a chest pump properly, so I can't tell you what it feels like. Quad pumps are pretty good as well, right up until they cramp. I'm gonna take these out, pop them over there. They keep falling out of my ears. It's really annoying. Right, back to it. Whew. All right. That's as nauseating to me as a heavy leg day. Pretty much. Maybe I'm just being a bitch. Pain's pain. I'm trying to push past it. Usually if you can believe, this is 10 kilos. I can do about 60, 67 on the actual machine, but for some reason, I never feel a good, proper contraction in there. Like you can tell now, the lines kind of disappeared. If anything, it looks like the definition's gone, but I feel a lot more pumped up than I was just from doing lat stuff. And another thing that's kind of interesting, I got a bunch of these t-shirts, these really baggy ones, when I was maybe in the middle of the bulk, and over the months as I put on the kilos, they started to fit a little bit tighter. And I could kind of, like I had that generic attached to you. No positions feels good because it's just pain everywhere. All right, I think one more set, we'll call it there, then we'll do some posing. Though I will admit, from here, starting to look considerably leaner, which is interesting. And also I have to switch out the lens for posing. This one is good for, you know, getting some wider shots, but I need it to be really locked in. I forgot one time and I was like, why do I look so small? Why is the camera so far away? I set everything up like I did before and it was just a lens that I forgot to switch out. Done. Let's get some of that blood flow back into the arms. This brings me back to when I would have a pump while climbing. It was insane. There's a point where you just can't even grip. Like you can place your fingers on it, but you can't really exert any pressure. That's how bad it gets. I've never gotten compartment syndrome before, but I imagine that what it feels like is maybe worse than that. Definitely worse than that, but along the same line of pain. Either way. Alright. Honestly, I'm just putting it off at this point. How about we do a different angle? You want to see what it looks like from the side? Oh yeah. But that looks hella interesting. Nope. God, I hope I'm in frame. All right, how's that look? Not too bad. I feel like there's some distance between us. like to be a little bit more up close and personal, but yeah, doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. All right, last set, then we'll do posing. Am I even in frame? Yep, all right, I can see myself. All right. And there we go. Oh, the arm stuff out of the way. Right. Posing time. Right. We're back. This is coming off. Let's do some posing, shall we? Tell you what, try and move elsewhere.